Hey, what's going on, guys? Stevie from the Midmasters here, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own mesh grill for your truck. So probably one of the hottest vehicle trends today is to take your current grill and make it into a mesh grill. So you're either cutting out something there or you just buy a whole new grill. Now, unfortunately for us and our trucks, those grills are expensive. So I managed to find someone who made them and they were like $300. You know, that you're better spent somewhere else in the truck. But I wasn't gonna stop, figuring out how I could do it. Here's what you're gonna do. Here's current grill, right? And we're gonna take this out, we're gonna cut out the center section, and we're gonna replace it with a mesh piece. So we're gonna get started. All right, so taking your grill out is pretty simple. 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on my grill, I have this added screw here. I don't know if that's the same for everybody, but you'll take that one out, and then we can take this somewhere inside where it's not 22 degrees and get working on it. All right, so I have the grill inside where it is a nice, comfortable 68 degrees instead of the 22. And I've got it set up on my sawhorses. So basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna have to cut around the outside of, we'll just call it the bezel, and go all the way around. It would be really neat to have it like the cut here, so it's recessed, but the trouble is that look really funky when you get to these cross pieces. So we're actually gonna cut on top. And luckily for you guys, because I'm in grad school and I don't have access to my usual garage of tools, I'm gonna have to do this by hand, which means you guys will do it too. And of course, if you have power tools, then you can beat me to the end of this before I'm finished cutting. So, but basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna trace out lines. I'll probably use some masking tape or fine line tape just to kind of outline it for me. And then I'm just gonna go around and I'm being cutting. But I'm gonna mark it out first so you guys can see it, and then I'll cut it out. All right, here's where I'm at. So I took fine line tape, went around, kind of outlined it. Obviously, there was no measurement involved. I wouldn't say you had to get too perfect because you're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to sand these edges anyway. So you just want to get the lines as straight as you can all the way around, and then you can work on sanding them and really profiling them, getting really, really nice later. Now, what am I cutting this with? I have a coping saw. This happens to be an Irwin. You can get any coping saw you want. This will be fine enough to go all the way around. Like I said, if you have like a jigsaw or something electric, totally do it. If you have a Dremel that does a little blade, use that as well. Otherwise, the coping saw is a very thin, fine blade, and the teeth on it are excellent for this. Matter of fact, I did a little test cut right there, and you see it makes a nice little fine line, and that's what I want all the way around. So anyway, I'm gonna get to cutting this out, and you will see what it looks like when it's finished, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, quick little update. So having all that stuff in the center was kind of getting in the way of the coping saw, so I took a larger saw there, and I cut out the center section. That way I have nice access to cutting my lines. There's nothing in the way. I can free flow. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. All right, guys, and we are back. So the guy I rent from actually allowed me to come up to his workshop and set up here, so I wasn't dirtying up my room. So that explains the change of scenery. Now, down to the cut job. So you can see I've cut everything out all the way around. You can kind of already see the framework for our massive mesh grill. Now, I've elected to keep these holder pieces, and there's a little side view, because that's kind of what keeps the bottom from rattling around. And considering at the moment, until I get this thing all plastic welded to the mesh, it's just gonna be really flimsy. So yeah, I did a pretty good job going around. You can see where I've kind of hit the tape, and like I said, that's where we're gonna sand it. The corners are obviously a lot more rough. Those I'm gonna probably take, some kind of round thing, trace something out there, and cut them out real nice. If you turn it over to the back side, this is really what we want. We just want something flat, something that we can bond to and we can plastic weld to. As you can see, there's some like raised edges where the lip would turn in. Those need to be filed down, but they'll get cut down because that's how this has to work out. For future reference, This is ABS plastic, so when we go to weld, we're gonna get our ABS plastic rods. That's how you tell if this is ABS plastic. Somewhere on any piece of plastic, they're gonna have that printed. And of course, it's made in Taiwan. Cool. So anyway, I'm gonna clean up all these edges, you know, get it real nice, and then we'll, you know, finish cut, and then I'll show you what I'm doing to sand this and really get it ready for plastic welding. All right, so I've laid my last little trimmings, and now I'm down to the sanding. Corners are gonna be difficult. So here's something you can do. I have Durablocks. They're actually for doing body work. And then I have all the sandpaper, the different grits, you know, they come in rolls. So I wrapped it around this, which is probably the equivalent to a 1-inch dowel. So if you got a dowel, you can just do that and wrap it with regular sandpaper. But I'm gonna go in the corners like that, and I'm gonna get my nice round corners, and then I'll switch over to one of my flat Durablocks that I have in here, and I'll do all the long runs, and I get this thing super smooth, and then we can move on to the plastic welding. See you when I'm finished. And I am back. Take a look at this thing. I mean, look how clean it is. Look at the lines. Corners, look how round they are. Nice and smooth and straight. That's what a Durablock job will get you. Okay, so our next step, flip this puppy over. And on the back side, just to make sure any raised edges are smoothed down, and then it's time to cut the mesh and get it snug in there. So I'm going to do that, bring you guys back. All right, guys, this is your first look at the mesh that I'm going to put in. That's about, let's see, so there's the size of my thumb. That's kind of giving you an idea like how wide the mesh is. And yeah, you can see straight through. The cool thing about this is aluminum. You can get ABS plastic, but the one didn't. It wasn't large enough to cover the area. And I just got this on Amazon for I think like 56 bucks. Okay, so remember, total cost so far 56 bucks, not 300, right? And of course, your spare time. So the next step is we're gonna start cutting it, and I want you to lay it out just like this. Kind of get a general idea, and you're just going to come by and snip it. So I'm using some aviation tin snips. You'll see these at just about every hardware store. So you're going to go around, cut a rough shape, and you know, we should be ready to start welding. Now, keep in mind this bottom lip doesn't have a whole lot on it, so you want this to be as snug as you can get it there. The top, not so much, because you at least have about an inch overhang, and the sides you probably about like 3/4. So the bottom is where you want it snug. So keep that in mind when you start cutting. What I'm pretty much going to do is get this snug against the bottom by cutting it around these, and then I'll just kind of slowly fit it in. That way too, the pattern stays level, so you know you're not looking at your grill and it's cockeyed. That would just get really annoying. So, all right, I'm gonna do that, bring you guys back. All right, so I got the mesh cut and fitted, okay, nice and snug. Here's something maybe you guys can do different that I think I just kind of messed up on, but I'm gonna keep part of the character. Is you see how like there's a gap right where above that plastic piece because I cut it around too high. If you guys go to do this, maybe see if you can keep it closer. The nice thing is the cuts are uniform, so maybe I can pass it off as just like, you know, the look. But yeah, so next thing, let's get welding. So basically you're just going to kind of go around the edge here, and you're going to weld, and then around the bottom, especially the bottom, and that should make it nice and rigid for us. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's finished. Well, guys, so after probably an hour or so of plastic welding, it is finished. Drum roll, please. Voila! Check it out. Now, is that awesome or what? Totally badass mesh grill, all for 60 bucks. So I'll show you what the backside looks like. Basically, I went around with the ABS rods, and I just pretty much tack welded it all the way around. If you don't like the sight of those, you can always paint them. And I actually didn't burn through too much. There's a few little dimples there where I went just a little deep. But you know what? For a grill that's probably going to get pretty well beat on the road, probably not going to see him, but look at that. That just looks freaking awesome. So, all right, I'm going to mount this on the truck, and you guys get to see what the final thing looks. I'm just too excited. All right, I'm going to go do this. So, guys, it is finished and mounted on my truck. Yes, I am talking about the sexiest mesh grill you ever see on one of our trucks. And here she is. Boom. Freaking looks awesome. Now you get maximum airflow into your engine bay. You can mount lights behind your grill, and you can have the coolest looking custom grill on the street. So now remember, guys, I got that grill on Amazon. So you just go on there. I think it's the site was the seller was called a Custom Car Grill. If not, just type in honeycomb mesh grill and you'll be able to get that. It's aluminum, so you don't have to worry about your HIDs, halogens, LED lights, whatever. You don't have to worry about them melting a plastic one. Of course, if you want to go plastic, that's all cool, but that was the only size that worked. So that's how you make the sexiest grill ever. This is Stevie from the Minimasters. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, Stevie here. If you like this video, go right down below, give me a big thumbs up. Please share this video and all my other videos with your fellow gearheads. And if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out and get one of those nice little notifications, subscribe to my video by clicking on the icon right over here. And please check out any one of my other videos. There might be something in there that you might enjoy. See you around.